To some, she was an oddity. To others, she was a hero. In the 1900s, Mary Gordon Ellis fought the norm by taking on the South Carolina General Assembly, which was a man's world. In the same way that schools during this period were divided between black and white, there were distinct differences between the roles of men and women. Mary was determined she wasn't going to be pigeonholed, but to fight the stereotype would not be easy. Yet despite the odds against her, Mary took on a system that had already been in place for decades, and the system fought back hard. The result? Well, when the fireworks had ended, the outcome of this clash would forever change politics in South Carolina.
I want a girl just like the girl that married dear old Dad. An old-fashioned girl whose heart is true, who wants to clean and loves to cook too, just like dear old Dad's.
Go in there? Oh, Mrs. Martin, this is an unexpected visit.
I'm here because of this.
Oh, you're not the only teacher I've heard from regarding this memo.
I can understand why. This memo is an insult to every teacher in Jasper County. I've been teaching for over 25 years. I don't need any training to know how to teach. I know how to teach my students.
After graduating from high school, I taught school in Kingstree. Then I got additional training in Rock Hill. That additional training made me a better teacher. That's the reason for this memo. It's because I want the teachers in this district to be the best teachers that they can be.
I don't like what you're implying. Make no mistake about it, Mrs. Ellis. I am a good teacher. And I'm sure all the students that I taught over all these years would agree, including the senator who hired you.
Mrs. Ellis, I'm sorry. I can wait outside until you're ready to meet.
Oh, no, wait. I don't think you two have met. Mrs. Martin is one of our teachers.
It's so nice to meet you. I'm Mary Alice Miller.
Oh, I know who you are. Another one of Mrs. Ellis's changes in our district. You know, Jasper County never had a black supervisor before you. Seems there are a lot of firsts in the district lately, thanks to Mrs. Ellis.
Mrs. Martin, I assure you that I am well aware that I'm the first black supervisor in this county. But wouldn't you agree that black schools having a black supervisor would be more prudent than having a white supervisor? After all, I was once a black student, so I can relate to their needs much more than someone who went to a white school as opposed to a black school.
My, aren't we high and mighty?
Miss Miller is a college graduate. She's a very competent person to do this job. Under her guidance, the black schools will strive to make just as much progress as the white schools have made.
Oh, and the white supervisor before her didn't do that? Is that why you made the change from white to black? You know, Mrs. Ellis, there's a saying, you shouldn't try to fix something if it isn't broken.
Just leave well enough alone, is that it? Well, Jasper County does need fixing. The black schools are not equal to the white schools.
And why should they be? The whites pay the taxes in this district. The blacks hardly make a living, and those that do, they work for us. They should be grateful. But then you come along and
try and give everyone a better way of life? Isn't that what education is supposed to do? Help a student succeed in life? Everyone deserves a good education. That's why you need this teacher training.
That's your opinion.
And I am the school superintendent. So it seems that my opinion is the only one that matters. Good day, Mrs. Martin. Oh, Mrs. Martin. You'll need this. I wouldn't want you to forget the date, time, and place of the training. Good day. don't know who's more ignorant, the teachers or the students.
Well, she does make one good point. Tongues are wagging about you hiring me over a white man.
This close-knit community isn't ready to accept outsiders, even white outsiders, especially when they have thoughts that are different from their own. Why, they can't even accept that a married woman would work outside the home. Seems I'm just as much an oddity as you are, Mary Alice. Maybe even more so, for they expect whites to know better and not want change. They expect us to want to keep blacks in their place.
Mail just arrived. I thought you'd want to see this.
Alice, I'm meeting with someone.
It's just Mary Alice. Besides, I thought you'd want to see that. It's from the senator. He had his secretary drive all the way over here just to hand deliver it, but I told her that you were in a meeting with Mrs. Martin. It's got confidential written on the envelope. I've never seen an envelope with confidential on it before. Aren't you going to open it?
We'll talk later.
That'll be all, Alice.
Well, go on, open it.
It says confidential. When you leave, I'll open it.
Hello?
Senator, this is Mary Ellis.
Oh, Mrs. Ellis.
I just received your letter. Senator, I know that I have made a great many changes in the school district, but these changes were necessary. For example, the textbooks in the black schools, they have pages missing. The information is
Ellis,
outdated.
your ideas are not practical. For example, requesting a school bus to transport blacks to school.
There's a bus to transport the white children to school.
But that's different.
As different as black and white, Senator? There are black children in your district that never go to school because it's too far away for them to attend. They need a bus to go to school. It's too far to walk.
Well now, isn't that just a downright shame? Maybe if you wouldn't have closed down all the one-room schools in this district, they could attend school.
Those schools were outdated with too many students for one teacher.
Perhaps, perhaps not. The bottom line is we simply do not have the funds for that many buses.
But Senator...
No use arguing with me. All these changes you've made just don't sit well with the voters in this district. And all the ruckus you've made in Jasper County, well, I can't go anywhere in the county without hearing all that you've done. My phone hasn't stopped ringing since you became superintendent. People just don't cotton to all these new ideas. And they're blaming me, because I hired you.
So now you're firing me. And in a letter. Not even telling me in person?
Now I know what the kind of fuss you women can make when you get all upset. Can't stand to hear a woman cry. Never have. I tell you what. How about you write me a letter of resignation and we'll forget all about this firing thing.
I will not resign.
Miss Ellis, be reasonable. I'm trying to do the honorable thing here.
I repeat, I will not resign.
Then you give me no choice. The people of this county have spoken.
Not all the people have spoken, Senator. Only the white population had a voice.
Miss Ellis, I took a chance when I hired you, you being a married woman and all, but your husband is an influential member of our community. And the way things stand right now, well, you're fired. It's as simple as that. Now, I gotta run. I got some important business in the Senate to take care of. Tell your husband I said hello, and I hope I can count on his vote. And your vote too, come the next election. Bye now.
Oh, this is not over, Senator. This fight has just begun.
You did what?
Now, dear, don't get upset. I had no choice.
Oh, you had a choice.
Please, I had to do this.
Mary, I've never denied you anything you wanted. But this... I've never even heard of a woman doing what you did today. People will be talking about this all over the county, even all over the state.
If you think I've disgraced you...
I'm thinking about you and the type of talk this will cause. Mary, I know you were upset about getting fired, but this is no solution. Your plan to get back at the senator's gonna backfire, and you'll only get hurt worse than you already are.
It's not about getting back at the senator. Now, don't look at me like that. It's about helping the children, all of the children, black and white, in Jasper County. Now, if things go back to the way they were, how are the black children going to get a proper education? Why, even the education for the white children in this county is lacking.
I'll admit it, I don't like that we had to send our children to Savannah to get a good education. I miss having them here. But dear, what you've done... But there's never been a woman elected to the Senate in the history of this state. And you're gonna be the man that's been elected time and time again from this county?
I know I'm not the only one who is dissatisfied with the schools.
Still, you know what some people are gonna say when they hear a woman's running for the Senate.
I don't care what they say about me behind my back.
Well, how about to your face? Campaigning won't be easy or pleasant.
The taunts, the gossip, the slander. I can only imagine what I'm going to be facing. If you don't want me to run in the election, then I'll...
Gossip don't bother me. It takes a fool to start it and a fool to listen to it. But what would bother me is if you were to get hurt. Mary, I love you too much to see you suffer from the cruelty of others. Preacher Lewis, come on in.
The door was open. I didn't mean to intrude. I was in your neck of the woods and thought I'd stop by for a visit.
Have a seat. You're always welcome.
Would you like some cookies and iced tea?
Oh, thank you, Mary. That'd be nice. You know, I heard the most outlandish story that I think I've ever heard. It seems your wife has declared herself a candidate for the Senate.
It's true, all right.
You can't honestly sit there and tell me that you think a woman would be smart enough.
My wife has a college education. She's smart enough.
Then it's immoral.
Immoral?
Mary, your place of work is here in the home, taking care of your husband.
My wife has a mind of her own. She don't need me telling her what to do.
Mary, don't you see that by doing this, the whole state's gonna think we've lost our minds in Jasper County? We'll be the laughing stock of the entire state.
Well, they won't be laughing come election.
I think both of you should know that several people have been by to talk to me since you filed, and got a lot of people riled up about this.
I didn't think you were dropping by for a social. You usually do that when Mary's cooking chicken and dumplings.
Well, I can see that there's no talking the two of you out of this. But I will preach on the subject Sunday, and I hope to see you both in church.
Oh, we never miss one of your sermons. Besides, it's our duty to go to church. I hear the Presbyterian Church is growing by leaps and bounds. Even some of our own members have left to join them. Hope you don't lose more.
Good day.
Drop by any time, preacher.
Well, I guess all I can count on is that I'll have at least 2 votes. Yours and mine.
You sure about that? I ain't never voted for a woman.
There's always a first time for everything.
So the campaigning began. Mary spent long hours traveling throughout Jasper County, trying to sway the voters to cast their ballot for her. When the votes were counted, it was a tie. But the runoff proved that people believed a woman could do a man's job. And for the first time in the history of South Carolina, a woman was elected to the South Carolina Senate.
Then I said, that's what she said. I know, I've seen her do it. Good morning,
Gentlemen.
Senator, Miss Ellis, Senator. What do we call her? Miss Ellis? Senator Ellis?
I don't know. All I do know is the state has gone to the dogs, electing a woman senator. I never thought I'd see the day. What was Jasper County thinking?
Well, as gentlemen, we have to be cordial. But I don't cotton this. I don't cotton this at all. A woman? What, she's going to cry the first time we disagree with her on the Senate floor?
That's a good one. Hey!
Come in.
Mrs. Ellis, Senator Ellis, may I have a few words with you before the session starts?
Well, certainly.
I'm a newspaper reporter, and I'd like to do a story on the first woman elected to the South Carolina legislature.
I'd be honored. But I have to warn you, I might talk your ear off because I have lots of plans and ideas to help the citizens in my county and the state, especially women and minorities. And I have many ideas about improving the education for both white and black schools that I hope will get implemented.
I want to hear all your ideas because the people need to know where you stand and what bills you're trying to push through the Senate. Oh, and if it wouldn't be an inconvenience, I'd like to meet your husband. He's in an interesting position too.
Well, if you want to talk to both of us, why not have Sunday dinner with us?
Thank you. I'll see you Sunday.
The nerve, the undue gall of that reporter.
Now simmer down.
Simmer down? How can you tell me to simmer down after what he wrote?
All he did was write the truth.
The truth? You can say that after reading his article? And I quote, Senator Ellis can walk into a kitchen and broil a steak to perfection, a meal good enough to put before a king.
Well, he's right. You are a good cook. As far as I'm concerned, the best in the county.
There's not one mention of my plans, my ideas, or anything I've said on the Senate floor or in the committee meetings. He's been there, listening, taking notes. He didn't even mention what I said in the interview in regards to education. He wouldn't comment on the cooking habits of my fellow male senators.
Well, honey, I doubt if any of them boys can cook. I expect their wives do all the cooking. Now, honey, don't get huffy with me. I was just joking.
It's no joke that I'm treated different from the male senators.
But you are different, so that's to be expected. You gotta accept that.
Not you two.
All I'm saying is you gotta give those boys time. Time to get used to the fact they got a female to contend with in the Senate. These fellas aren't used to working alongside a woman. And now that they got one, they're not sure what to do with you. No wonder they're a little spooked. What man wouldn't be? Once they get to know you, you won't be an oddity. They'll learn to accept you, and they'll listen to you, and most likely agree with what you got to say. You got good ideas, Mary. You just gotta give them time to get used to you.
I wonder if they ever will. After all, these men think that a married woman's place is in the home, not in the Senate. But I can do this job. And I'm going to prove that I'm one of the best senators this county and this state has ever seen.
I have no doubt you'll do just that.
And prove it she did. The voters were so impressed with her hard work and dedication that she won her next election by a wide majority of votes. And by the third election, she was leading her opponent by a wide margin. It appeared there was no stopping Mary Gordon Ellis from becoming a state senator.
What took you so long to get dressed? Where's that doctor? He left here a good while ago.
Well, if he doesn't get a move on, I'm going to be late to the Brewerton luncheon. That's not going to help my campaign.
Speaking of campaigns, how's the re-election going?
Busy.
I think too busy.
Julius, just keep your seat. I got some x-rays we need to talk about.
Doctor, will you please tell my husband that it's nothing more than me eating too many cookies and cakes on the campaign trail that's got my stomach upset. He swears he's not going to let me campaign until you give me the go-ahead. Now, you've seen all the tests. Everything's fine, isn't it?
Something's wrong, isn't it? I was right to make her come see you.
Now you fuss too much. I'm fine. But Julius insisted that I come and get checked out. I think he's become a worrywart.
Doctor, I think Mary needs to slow down. She's looking a mite peaked. Been losing weight, most days has nausea. She wasn't this tired during the first election. This campaign's really taken a toll on her.
I've known you two for a long time. I mean, you and I went to high school together.
Chester, what's wrong?
I've been a doctor for a good many years now, and there's never an easy way to say this, especially to two people I consider dear friends.
What could be so wrong that you can't say the words?
Mary, you have cancer.
No!
Well, you've made a mistake. A terrible mistake.
There's no mistake. All the signs are there. Severe tiredness, losing weight rapidly, loss of appetite, nausea.
I don't eat well when I'm campaigning. The voters insist that I taste all the cakes and the cookies that they bake. So many sweets in one day? Several days in a row? No wonder my stomach would be upset.
Are you sure about this?
I ran the test 3 times. I wish I wasn't.
But doctor, Julius? Julius?
How do we beat this? I mean, what does she got to do? I got money. We can send her to the best treatments. You just tell us where.
Oh, Mary, you've always been a straight shooter, so I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There is no cure, at least not yet.
But there has to be. You can't just tell us to give up.
Mary has ovarian cancer, and I've never known anyone who's beaten it. Mary, what you can expect more of is the tiredness and nausea, and the pain's only going to get worse. Now, I can give you some medicine to make you feel more comfortable.
Will this medicine prevent me from functioning on the campaign trail?
You can't keep running for re-election.
If I don't campaign, I'll lose. My name will be on the ballot. But you know voters in Jasper County. They'll want to talk to me. I have to make speeches. If they think I'm too sick to talk to them, they won't vote for me. I've always had to campaign hard to win. I have to...
Stop campaigning. That's what you have to do.
But...
You're not going to win this election, Mary.
But I'm finally starting to make a difference as a senator. Every year I get powerful, I get more respect.
There won't be a next term. There won't even be a next year.
It's that bad?
It's that bad.
But she's only 44 years old.
I have children that need me. I have a husband that needs me. I have people depending on me to represent them in the Senate. Without me, there won't be anyone there to look after their interests. I can't die. I can't. I can't.
You have given so much. To the county, to the children, to the state, to me. Honey, it's time we gave back to you. I'm taking you home so I can take care of you.
Go home, Mary. Take this time to spend it with your husband and your children.
Come on.
Do you think that I'm being punished?
Punished? For what?
Remember what the minister preached? That it goes against the good book for me to be a senator. That's a man's job, not a job for a woman. A married woman's place is in the home. Maybe I am being punished for abandoning you and the children.
You never abandoned me or our children. I couldn't ask for a better wife or mother to our children than you. No, No, dear, you are not being punished.
But
Mary, I don't proclaim to be an expert on what's right or wrong, but I'll tell you right out. I voted for you both times you ran, and I'd vote for you again. Now, I consider myself a God-fearing man who follows the rules of the good book.
You voted for me?
And not once have I regretted that decision. You've done a lot of good things for this county. People in this area are always going to remember the name of Mary Gordon Ellis, because this county, this state, they owe you a lot.
You know, I won an election when everyone said that a woman wouldn't win. But I did. I won.
You sure did, honey. You sure did. You put them doubters to rest.
Well, I've done the impossible once. I can do it again. I'm going to beat this cancer.
If you get there before I do, coming for to carry me home, tell all my friends I'm coming to, coming for to carry me home. Wing low, sweet child.
In 1934, Mary lost her battle with cancer, dying the same year she was diagnosed. She was buried in the Williamsburg Cemetery in Kingstree. Her time in legislature, Mary tried to fit in with the male senators, but she never became one of the boys. For decades, the Senate refused to hang her portrait in the Senate chamber. But in 1995, her picture was finally hung. In a time when prejudice against married women working outside the home was strong, Mary beat the odds by serving as the lone woman senator in a sea of men. By leading the way for other women to serve in the South Carolina legislature, Mary Gordon Ellis was truly a South Carolina heroine.
South Carolina women have played an important role throughout history. I'm Idella Bodie. I hope you enjoyed the story you just saw of a South Carolina heroine. If you'd like to find out more about the heroines of South Carolina, you can read South Carolina Women.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain.
America, oh America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. sea.